Hello Internet, welcome to the Knowledge Realm, where we're that annoying guy in the theater who enjoys loudly comparing the book to the movie. Well, actually this happened. The movie industry's whole concept of telling stories is done by lying to us. I mean, of course Batman is real, but a clown in the sewers or a man who can talk to apes? Probably nothing more than entertaining stories. But beyond using lies to tell stories, Hollywood actually projects some lies as real and honest truths, and we're going to debunk them. Here are lies told by movies and TV shows that the audience believes to be real. Number 15. EMPs affecting your car. We've seen War of the Worlds and remember how the aliens affected all the cars, shut them down entirely, except this isn't the case. Most cars, despite the model's year, will work after an EMP. The United States EMP Commission confirmed this as the case. Just restart the car and you'll still be able to outrun those aliens. Number 14. Running during an earthquake. When an earthquake happens and the city starts crumbling to pieces around the main character who is running in fear, that cannot happen. Falling buildings in an earthquake equals no running. To make matters worse, you couldn't even drive a car. Maybe a limousine. Nah, never mind. Number 13. Multiple personality disorder is a group effort. We see in the movie Split, for example, a man switching personalities who dress, talk, think, and act totally different. Well, often the personalities dress similar, and more often than not, multiple personalities remain mutually unaware of each other's existence. They don't really talk to each other. Number 12. Astronauts' helmets and lights. Usually in movies, to add into enhancing the actors' faces, lights are added to the inside of the astronauts' helmets. Not the case though. Usually the helmets have a reflective gold coating to aid in protection from sun radiation. Sorry, Marky Mark. Number 11. Eagles don't sound like this.
Mighty Eagle!
Ever heard this eagle call in a movie? Well, that's not an eagle, but is actually often a red-tailed hawk. Why they use this bird instead of a real eagle? Maybe because it sounds cooler? Number 10. Outlining a dead body. Seeing a chalk outline of a body on the ground is a classic symbol of a crime scene. But nowadays, this doesn't happen anymore. Beforehand, it wasn't super common, or the chalk outline was mainly done for the press to take photos, without a gruesome body. Half the time, they didn't even use chalk, they just used tape. Furthermore, the outline wasn't even done until all the evidence had been collected and pictures were taken. So this is just another dramatic lie by Hollywood.
He was just found dead.
Number 9. Outrunning the light. Remember this scene from The Mummy? Unfortunately for Brendan Fraser, this wouldn't be possible unless he was running 1,000 miles per hour to beat the shadow to the pyramid. Movies just love to exaggerate how fast a person can run, and this is just one example. Number 8. Waiting 24 or 48 hours for a missing person. Do not listen to Hollywood. If someone you know is missing or suspected to be, even for a couple minutes, you can call the police. You do not have to wait 24 hours or 48 hours like the movies say to file a missing persons report. But maybe check the bathroom or the backyard before calling 911 after your husband went missing for 5 minutes. Number 7. Zac Efron singing. You better believe it. Zac Efron never sang a note in the beloved High School Musical movie.
What?
He merely lip-synced to another actor, Drew Seeley's voice. I couldn't have guessed, but mostly because I've never watched High School Musical. Number 6. Chloroform works immediately. Not at all. Not only does chloroform take at least 5 minutes against the mouth to work, you can't just put it on the cloth and hold it in the open air. The effectiveness immediately starts to wear away. Plus, it is extremely difficult to measure out how much chloroform is too much to not hurt the person. It is not that easy to just knock them out. Number 5. Gas expiration date. Gas exposed to air, like all the fuel tanks in cars, will start to expire and break down after a couple months. It degrades its combustibility properties and turns more gummy, so those apocalyptic movies and shows usually have it wrong. Number 4. Shocking a patient. During all those medical dramas, when the ER personnel shocks a flatline patient, it turns out it wouldn't work. The patient needs a beating heart for the shocking to work. What it does is it resets the fast beating heart to calm it down a bit. Shocking a dead patient will not bring them back. That's what CPR is for. Number 3. 10 months of pregnancy. This one has become a bit of a pet peeve of mine in movies. People always say pregnancy lasts 9 months when this isn't true. A woman will be pregnant for about 9.5 months to an accurate 10 months. And that is not including the weeks that they might go late. Number 2. Sounds in space. That's right, all those epic space battles in Marvel, Star Trek, Star Wars, and Stargate would just be creepy quiet scenes. Something more like this. Maybe that was a good lie, Hollywood. And number 1, falling into water. Movies often forget physics when characters jump or trip off tall structures into water, landing safely without a broken bone. The reality is not so much like a feathery mattress, and more like a slab of concrete. Now, people have survived falling off the 220-foot or 67-meter high Golden Gate Bridge, but this will not be the case for everyone else. Plus, they weren't completely unharmed. The higher the fall, the harder the water becomes.